Good morning. I am making some baked oatmeal for breakfast. I mixed all these dry ingredients last night so that this morning I didn't have so much to do before breakfast. So in here already is oats, brown sugar, baking powder, salt and cinnamon. I want to say that's it. And so now I've got to add some eggs. And then in this measuring cup, I just measured both milk and olive oil. I'm going to give this a stir. My last ingredient is raisins. I had no idea we were so low on raisins, but it's just under a cup of raisins there. It's usually me that's, well, I still had a little bit left in the big bag of raisins, so I don't know how I let that go and not put it on the grocery list, but it'll be enough for this meal. So just a light mix there, and now I need to take my baking sheet and just grease that. My oven is all heated up to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So once I get this all spread in the pan, it's going to bake for 30 minutes. This is definitely, it's such an easy recipe. It's really not hard at all, but let me just go grab a spatula. It does take a little more time just because, you know, it has to bake for 30 minutes. I have to do the prep before. So sometimes on a busy morning, that's just longer than I want to take making breakfast. But when the kids find out we're having baked oatmeal, not just like regular oatmeal, they're really happy about that because this is enjoyed by everybody in our house. This is our baked oatmeal. Sometimes I will take like a lifter, like this guy over here, and I will slice it and serve it in like square pieces. But usually I just take this scoop and just scoop it out. And then we have that in a bowl with milk. Yum, this smells and looks delicious. I just drink water with breakfast. The kids will have some apple juice. First coffee of the day from Tim Hortons. I'm showing you, I haven't even opened it yet. I haven't even taken a sip, but I just ordered my usual coffee with 1 cream. I think that baked oatmeal this morning was very filling because not only have we not had a snack this morning, no one has even mentioned a snack or asked for a snack, but it is lunchtime. And so we're gonna have a really simple lunch. I'm actually gonna get Charity to make lunch for us. She is going to just cook up some Kraft Dinner, a nice easy meal that she can make all by herself. The kids love having that. Actually, that's not quite true. I have one child who doesn't, so maybe he'll have a sandwich or something. And I'm gonna make myself something different. I'm gonna have to think a little bit about what I wanna make myself, but I'm thinking maybe some scrambled eggs. I am gonna make scrambled eggs for myself for lunch, and Simeon actually requested scrambled eggs with me too. So I think I'll probably do, maybe I'll do 6 eggs. I started off with 6 eggs and then noticed that one of the other eggs had a broken shell, so we're up to 7 eggs now. I'm just gonna add a bit of milk and get these all whisked. I'm going to add to my scrambled eggs some grated cheese, some onion, tomato, and I'm gonna chop up some ham too. I've got my pan warming up here, so I'm just gonna add some butter. I do this far too often. I walked away. Now that my pan is very hot, I am just going to fry up. Can you even hear me? I'm gonna fry up this ham and onions. Now I'm gonna pour my eggs in. Make that a little quieter there. I'm gonna add some garlic powder and some pepper. The macaroni is just about ready. We used 2 of these bigger sized boxes, so I think it's gonna be plenty for the only 4 kids that are going to eat this. I turned my heat down a bit here, but I'm gonna start stirring it a little bit. I like to cook the eggs almost through before I add the tomatoes. Sure, thanks. I mixed in my tomatoes, turned the element off, and now I'm just waiting for the cheese to melt. Macaroni and cheese is ready. We just need to serve lunch. There is my lunch, nice big helping of scrambled eggs. And we also have, of course, ketchup for the macaroni and cheese, and we also have some carrot sticks. There were a lot more than this, so the kids must have come and snacked on them a bit as we were making lunch. What else was I gonna say? Oh, there's lots of extra as well. There's extra on the counter of both the scrambled eggs, lots of extra. We probably should have just made one box of macaroni and cheese, not two. Well, even if you have a second helping, I think it's still gonna be lots. That post-lunch time, when I feel like I need just a little bit more coffee. It is now mid-afternoon. Some of the kids have come and had a snack. Usually they come and ask me mid-afternoon, can we have a snack now? And I'll usually tell them, pick something from the fruit basket. Some of the kids came and took an orange. They finished all the oranges. So Zara's now having an apple. And then they'll have something else afterwards, but usually I make them have some kind of fruit first. So I'm just about to get my snack ready. I'll show you what I'm prepping. I got out a banana I am going to slice up, and then I have some Greek yogurt here and some of this homemade granola. I finally made some more. I hadn't made any in a long time, but this granola is so tasty. I will hopefully, I have the recipe written down in a cookbook I made myself. Like, I wrote down the recipes. So I don't know if this recipe is, you know, on any website anymore from when I first found it, but I will slice up that banana, yogurt, granola. What I was meaning to finish off by saying, I will link the recipe down below to this granola if I can find it. I tried to give myself a small helping of this, but I did use the whole banana, and then of course, okay, just a small bit of yogurt, and then just a small bit of granola, but pretty quickly it ends up being, you know, just more than a light snack. It ends up being more of a light meal. But we still have a couple of hours to go till supper, and I am super excited to dig into this. The kids for snack either had some peanut butter pretzels, and some of them had yogurt and granola just like I did. But now it's time for me to start making dinner. Tonight's dinner, one of my favorites. I feel kind of bad when I share a recipe like I'm gonna share tonight, just because I don't have a recipe, and I know that that's easier for you guys if you can just click down below in the description box and find a recipe to use. But this is something that I put together for the first time probably 2 or 3 years ago. Maybe it was even longer than that. And it's delicious. And so I make it fairly regularly. It's a pretty inexpensive meal as well. It's rice, beef, beans, corn. You'll see how I put it all together. There is a good bit of meat in it. I have like, I think it's 2 pounds, close to 2 pounds of like a ground beef and pork mixture sitting there on the counter, but it does make a lot, so it will make definitely enough for more than one meal. The first thing I'm gonna do is chop up, I've got an onion and a half here, and then like half of a garlic I'm gonna chop up. So I will cook that on a pan alongside the ground beef. I already have a pot of water sitting here on the stove that I have turned on. And once that boils, I will pour my rice into the pot. I do often do my rice in the Instant Pot, and that is really nice and simple and really yummy too, but today I'm doing it on the stovetop. Little break from chopping up onions, because as you can see, my water is boiling, and so I am going to pour, I think I'll do 2 cups. I have 2 pounds of ground beef that's going to be cooked up, so I think 2 cups of rice should be a good amount. That half of a garlic I showed you is actually just one huge clove. So I'm just going to take this. I usually just chop it up rather than mince it, but I chop it up real nice and fine. Let's just zoom in a little bit. There we go. And then I just chop them up really nice and small. And then I just saute them, just like I saute the onions. And now I just have to give my hands a really good hand wash because they're gonna smell really garlicky, but this fresh garlic is so, so tasty. I have all my onions and garlic on this pan, and so I am just going to take my package of ground beef here, and I will add that to the pan. My ground beef and onions mixture is almost cooked through. My rice is cooked through, so I just have some frozen corn. Since the rice is still nice and hot, I am just going to mix the corn in with the rice. As you can tell, I'm not measuring, but that looks like a good amount, so I'm gonna put the lid on. That corn will very quickly defrost. Now to my beef mixture. I took it off of the element. Oh, I better turn the element off, just because it was too loud as it was sitting on the element, although I am gonna put it back on to warm up a little bit. So I have in here some black beans, and then to that I'm going to add, so I add both some chili powder and then extra cumin. Cumin gives it a really nice flavor, so I'm doing measurements today so you can see about how much I add. I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of the chili powder and probably about half a tablespoon here of cumin. I'm gonna stir this all around, and then I'm gonna turn my element back to just maybe 3 or 4 to medium. Now I have poured my rice, my corn, everything's together here. And the last thing I do is add some salsa and sour cream. This is the very end of this jar, so I just need to shake and get it all out. Second jar, add a bit more here. And then I add some sour cream. How much do I add? I'll add 3 heaping spoonfuls. Then I give this a final big mix, and it's nice and creamy, really nice and flavorful. You absolutely could add cheese. I feel like there are so many recipes and meals that absolutely require cheese, and this one's really good without, and so that's my reasoning. That's why I never put cheese in this one, because it is yummy without, but it would be delicious with cheese added as well. There's a closer up look of this pan, and as you can see, it is a great big pan here that should last us. I don't think it'll be 2 full meals. We all really enjoy this meal, so we do eat quite a bit, but there will definitely be leftovers for like maybe lunch. I wanted to mention, I also will sometimes serve this over a bed of lettuce, and that is really yummy. And if you want to have it for leftovers, sometimes having it on lettuce will help it stretch farther too. I forgot all about these chocolate chip cookies we had in the fridge. If I hadn't forgotten, I probably would have had one earlier. And I'm just waiting for this water to boil to make a couple cups of coffee. There's my coffee for this evening. And I'm gonna have those chocolates. I came up here for like a quiet minute up here, but Wesley's with me, so I might share a little bit, but you're not supposed to be in here. That's my after dinner treat.